All right, what's this? What you got here?
I'm Captain Rex.
Captain Rex. All right. Wow, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, we got this helmet from Mr. Mike Hinton. You may have seen him on some of our streams. This is literally now the best thing that I personally own.
Right.
I mean, this helmet is amazing.
Yes.
Like, even the inside is padded. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at how well made that is. And this was made by hand.
So Mike
See,
Hinton.
we got a rangefinder that you can like flip down.
Nice. So we had Mike Hinton and Zoe Hinton, his daughter, during our Father's Day celebration, and he does this in his spare time. He creates these helmets. So this is a helmet of Captain Rex. For those of you who can't see it, it looks pretty cool. Looks great on you, and you can see. Oh, okay, we'll get that fixed.
I gotta screw
And you
that
can
back
see
in.
very well, right?
Yeah, I can actually. For a T
Excellent.
advisor, you can see pretty well.
Okay. All right. Well done. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. This is Father Son Galaxy. I am Kerwin. This is Keith.
Captain Rex.
Yeah, Captain Rex in the house. Although we're not talking about Star Wars at the moment, we are going to talk about our season finale of Marvel's Secret Invasion. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. Thank you. If you are joining us for the first time, thank you very much for being here. If you're new to, thank you for joining us. If you're new to the channel, thank you. Welcome back to those who've been here before. We love having you here. Let's talk about this episode. So this was an interesting episode. I'm not saying it's a bad episode, but it leaves questions that I didn't get answered. But okay, let's deal with what we have here.
Let me ask you, what did you think of the episode?
I thought it was short. I think maybe it could have used
I was expecting like an hour long.
Yeah. Are you going to keep that helmet on? I don't know if people are going to be able to hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Well, you're going to have to take the helmet off, I think.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's much better. Much better. All right. I think it could have used a little more substance in the episode. Yeah. It was short. And it's very interesting because the first couple of episodes started off pretty okay.
Yeah, like we were getting
45 minute
episodes.
And then all of a sudden, like, were they just running out of time? Or I don't know.
I highly doubt that.
Or maybe they were cutting a lot of footage. I don't know.
And by the way, like every Marvel show has that 3-act structure where it's like, the first act we're developing plot and something big happens to leap us into the second act where all the characters are like, we gotta do something. And then the third act has that classic Marvel over the top CGI heavy fight. And we really got that in this finale. So let's begin with the attack on the president.
Okay. Did we write down the president's name? Do you remember his name?
Yeah, President Ritson.
Ritson. Okay. Can I just say something before we start?
Ritz Cracker.
President Ritson must have the worst Secret Service I have ever seen.
I kid you not, Secret Service isn't even at his bedside.
I don't
like
know
Rhodey's watching him more than the literal people who are getting paid to hang with the president.
There's no protection around this president at all. Rhodey can just walk in and start giving orders to the president. Well, come on, Mr.
Rhodey
President.
can walk in with a phone and a firearm.
Mr. President, you see, it's Russia. Take a look, Mr. President. Don't you see what's going on, Mr. President?
He brought in a screen and a remote. And he's like, Mr. President, look at this. It was the Russians. These are Skrulls on Russian soil.
Yeah. It seems a little ridiculous. But anyway, so, all right, the attack on the president.
All right, so Fury is actually revealed as a Skrull. All right, Fury reveals Rhodey as a Skrull right in front of the president in a way that I felt was unnecessary. But
I understand what you're saying.
All right,
a little too violent.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, even before let's step back a little bit, right? Because we didn't know if that was Fury until he showed up in the hospital, right? We thought Fury was with the Gravik, right?
And you just spoiled it.
Oh, okay. All right. You have it in order. Okay, go ahead. You keep going. Okay.
So, the president ends up calling an emergency strike on all alien species, even ones who just want to help. Like, there's this talk show host who they swiftly got rid of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was necessary.
It seems like the humans are retaliating against
the Skrulls. God.
Is that what you think?
Twitter is X now.
Yeah, okay. All right. Keith, can we? Okay. Keith. All right. People are listening. All right. We'll talk about Twitter later. All right. X, formerly known as Twitter. Okay. Keith.
All right.
All right. So we were talking. Okay. All right. We were talking about the president. All right. Go. Okay. So we were talking about the retaliation that's going on, right?
Yeah.
Between the humans and the Skrulls, right?
And Fury's on the phone like, Ritson, you don't have to do this. Some of these guys aren't even evil. And he's like, if you care so much about the Skrulls, get them off my planet.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Let me say this. So apparently Ritson is upset that these Skrulls have taken over the planet. Well, not taken over the planet, but they've invaded. They've invaded the planet. And of course, as any human would do, they will react to say, okay, well, we need to get these Skrulls wiped off the face of the earth.
And
Literally.
Fury had a good line. This wasn't just the president, but to grab it. He's like, it's easier to save the lives of 8 billion people than to change their hearts and minds.
Yeah, that's a very good line. Yeah, I like that. All right, what's next?
All right, so it looks like next is Vara. So Priscilla and Fury are talking for what may be the very last time. You know, it's kind of sad, but it's happy, like a bittersweet moment. And they're like, are we going to see each other again? And Fury says, I don't know. And he's about to leave once again to go fight Gravik.
Okay, so we're going to move into Gravik, or we're going to talk a little more about...
we're going to move into Fury.
Okay, so are we going to talk about Vara at the end, or what happens at the end, or are we coming back?
Yeah, because that's the end of the episode, so we'll come back to that at the end.
We'll come back to that. Okay, all right. So we're going to move on to...
So, Fury's in shambles, honestly. He's just... Fury's like...
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little annoying. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, stop coughing, please. Stop coughing. Like, you're going to give me coronavirus.
Right. So now I wasn't sure what was going on.
I had no clue what was happening.
In the last episode, Gravitz told him to make sure you take your something. I don't know. Imodium. I don't know. Make sure you bring your pills with you.
But radiation, everybody. It cures the radiation.
Is that what it is? Radiation? I don't know why.
Well, it's supposed to stop him from feeling the radiation.
But what was the coughing about? So apparently, was there something in the air that the radiation?
I don't know. That base looked like Chernobyl. I think it was giving off some sort of bad energy.
There must have been something in the atmosphere. Something
must have been something in the air that night. It wasn't good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't get what that, all the coughing was about. Okay. All right. And then we're going to continue to talk about what happens with Gravik and Fury.
So, Gravik is popping off with Fury. He is giving Fury everything he has bottled up in the past 5 episodes. And I really wish we got to see some of that emotion from Gravik earlier on. Like, I feel like instead we kind of got the stereotypical Marvel villain, like that one villain who's just inherently bad throughout the entire series. And then at the end, we get some emotion to them. Mm-hmm. And then they're gone. Then they commit bye-bye. So, like, Wenwu, everybody.
All right, well, Ella. We've been talking about
Stain.
Kingsley Ben-Adir's performance, and we thought he was doing a very good job.
He's doing a very great job as the character. I just feel like the character could have used some development.
I felt in this episode he was a little over the top. I didn't know what he was going for. It just
because like the last few episodes he's just been evil, and now he's like, I hate you, Fury. This is the face of the man who you told me to get rid of. Like, all of a sudden he was just really angry.
Yeah,
really quickly.
All this exposition really amounts to nothing, in my opinion, because he's not telling Fury anything that we don't already know. Yes, you promised us a planet, we didn't get it. Yes, you failed us. Yes, you were not there. So really, I don't know what was the purpose of this scene. I just thought it was just overplayed by Benadir, and I know he's a better actor than that, so I'm not quite sure what that was about. I didn't feel it. I just thought it was just way over the top.
Yeah, Ken's better than that.
What did I say?
No, Kingsley Benadir is Ken in the Barbie movie. He's also Bob Marley.
Yes, we are absolutely know that.
I mean, the acting chops.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. Well, I haven't seen Barbie. It's not on the top of my list, but maybe if I get time, I'll see it.
This weekend we're gonna have to do Barbenheimer.
Oh well, okay. Let's stay on target.
Stay on target.
Let's stay on target. All right, let's see what Q&A we have. All right, thank you, Alex.
Great point. One thing that the Netflix Marvel writers did better than Disney Plus / Marvel films is showing more nuance and emotion for antagonists in a gradual, natural way and not rush.
Good point.
See, I think the thing about these Netflix shows is that it's a much slower burn. Like, you get more episodes and more time to develop characters instead of like the 6 or 9 episode plot series that we're following with the MCU shows. Like, how many episodes does Daredevil have? Like 20?
No, I think maybe 12. I have not gotten through
like if Daredevil gets 12, 15 episodes, you can really establish your villains there.
Yeah.
Rather than just having a villain who gets evil, emotional, bye-bye.
Yeah, I haven't gone through an entire season of Daredevil yet, but yeah, I think it's about 12 to 15 episodes. But we were talking about this last week, Alex. We were talking about the length of these episodes, whether that matters or the number of episodes matter. I still feel that this series did not need more than 6 episodes, but they did need to be longer. Yeah, so especially with this finale, I felt like up to episode 5, there was so much more that we needed to know, or I guess more we wanted to happen, but it didn't.
And also, in episode 4, we really didn't need to kill Talos, guys.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
And then it had no implications in the plot going forward whatsoever.
Yeah.
Except an excuse for Gaia and Vara to team up and just take out a bunch of Skrulls.
Yeah, I think I miss Talos. I think
I miss Talos, man.
Yeah, I like their
bring it back. Come on. Like from episode 1 to 4, we had the buddy cop show.
Yeah. Fury and Talos' relationship, I thought, really made this series. There are other relationships that are just as good, but I think the two of them together on the screen, Mendelsohn and Jackson, so yeah, I miss Talos.
Dude.
Yeah, right. All right, so
I know they're not going to listen, but like, bring him back.
I think he's gone.
That wasn't necessary.
Yeah, but I think he's gone.
It didn't advance the plot. Neither did killing Maria Hill, in fact. Bring them both back.
No, once again,
both of those deaths were pointless.
It's unfortunate. I know we keep talking about Maria Hill. We're talking about her in death more than in life.
It's the thing with Aunt May or like Uncle Ben. Like, if you're gonna get rid of a character, they have to have some meaning to their passing. Like,
understood.
Like Uncle Ben was supposed to teach Peter the lesson of with great power comes great responsibility, which he carries with him throughout his life and sets him on the course to become Spider-Man and be the good guy that he is.
Agree.
When Miles lost Uncle Aaron, that helped him to become a better Spider-Man to protect people. But like the deaths of Maria Hill and Talos didn't really advance Fury or Gaia in any ways whatsoever.
No, I agree. Yeah, it didn't. It seemed like their deaths were in vain. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, it really felt like that.
What did Maria leave behind for Fury? I don't think she left anything.
And here's a funny part. Wasn't there a point in time where Rhodey said, I leaked that footage of you taking out Maria Hill, and then it just never played into the show again?
True.
Because Fury made himself a false gravestone for like the 3rd time, and everything's like,
Yeah,
Like, he's becoming the new Loki. Like, everyone keeps thinking he's dead, and then he just comes back.
yeah,
Remember the Winter Soldier? We all were on the edge of our seats for that one for a minute there. And then the blip, and then Saber, and now a Scandinavian grave site. If you have graves around the world, that's going to get suspicious. And if you do, why did you stash all your equipment in Scandinavia?
yeah. As you go back and look at the episodes, like in retrospect, I think there are some plot details that, like you said, were left off or dropped or
By the
not
way,
not fleshed out
I'd like
completely.
to say, I don't know how Nick Fury is getting these DNAs, but
Well, let's talk about that. Okay, let's
I
talk about
I
this.
went back and I replayed
Yeah,
that shot. So he has the DNA of Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain America, Corvus Glaive, that's the dude who fought Captain America and Vision, Thanos, the Outriders, those are the minions from Infinity War and Endgame, Proxima Midnight, that's one of the Black Order members with Corvus Glaive, Captain Marvel, Abomination, Mantis, Cull Obsidian, Drax, Korg, Ebony Maw, Frost Beast, Hulk, Chitauri, Valkyrie, Thor, Gamora, Flora Colossus, which is Groot, Winter Soldier, and more. He has the DNA of every Avenger, Guardian, Black Order member, and Thanos, and some Asgardians.
yeah.
How is he getting this? I just realized that Asgardian is just a combination of Avenger and Guardian.
So two questions, right? One, where did he get all this DNA? Well,
Exactly.
three questions. One, where did he get the DNA? Two,
How to get the DNA.
why does he need it? And three, why is all of the superheroes' DNA in one vial?
Like, if you were going to collect the DNA of the most powerful individuals in the
Yeah,
world, I mean, wouldn't you want to spread them out and put them in the most perilous places that only you know how to get to,
absolutely
instead of
right.
putting it on inside of a gravestone?
Right. And you don't put them all in one place. You spread them out. Like you got Captain America
Exactly.
over here in this country.
See,
You
here's
got
the
the
thing.
Winter Soldier in that country, but that didn't make any sense to me.
It's not like a treasure. I guess they were trying to go for the treasure chest thing, like how if you put all your gems and diamonds and gold and valuables into one place, but like that's different. This isn't the One Piece, guys. Nobody would take the DNA of the superpowered individuals who have beaten some of the other superpowered individuals, put them in one place. Q&A.
So good question, Alex.
Alex,
So
it
is
surprised me to hear that Carol's DNA was there. Do you think her blood came from Thanos' punch? I don't know. I feel like this DNA is just a gaping plot hole. Like, how is he getting this DNA? Like,
exactly.
not that he's tasked Skrulls with collecting it, but that would mean that all of these people bled
Yeah.
and then Fury collected it. Or there's another more gross option, but I don't want to
Right.
say that.
Well,
Like, so he just collected all their blood and put it in one vial so that whoever gets that is literally the one person who is now the most powerful individual on Earth, and that title belongs to Gaia now.
so well, I had a theory about this. Remember, we had a discussion about this DNA, where it came from, why it happened. And I mentioned, could this be a part of the Sokovia Accords, where these superheroes were required to provide the government their fingerprints, their blood samples, or what have you, their photo identification. That's how I'm thinking. Fury got this DNA, but I don't know that. I don't know if that was a
Yeah,
part of
but
the
like,
Accords.
see, the thing is, if the government had all this DNA, why would they give it to Fury? And more importantly, why would they tell Fury to send Skrulls to collect this DNA? Like, we know that Skrulls have been on the planet since 1995, but like, how long? Oh, by the way, to go back to Rhodey for a moment, I am disturbed about this. When Gaia freed him, he was in a hospital gown and he couldn't walk. So, by using clues, that means that Rhodey has been a Skrull since before the time heist. He's been a Skrull since after Civil War. So you remember in Civil War when Rhodey plummeted out of the sky and he hit the ground
Huh.
and he almost died, but like Tony Stark was able to save him.
Right. And
So
yeah,
that's
he
why
had,
he was in a hospital gown, and that's why he was shambling to walk because he can't walk.
but wasn't he in Endgame?
That must have been a scroll then.
Oh, don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that.
Exactly.
No, don't, don't,
Dude.
don't taint that movie.
So that means that he has no idea what happened to Tony or Cap or Natasha.
Oh, please don't do that.
Dude.
Are you really? You think it could go that far back? Wow.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Does this mean Rhodey knows that Peter is Spider-Man? Because if he had already been a Skrull by the time of Civil War, No Way Home was like 2024 or something, or 2025 thereabout, because Far From Home was 2023.
You do have an excellent
No,
point,
wait a
though.
minute. No Way Home must have been
In a
2023 to
he
2024.
was in a hospital gown. Well, for what reason?
And
Yeah.
if he was being mind controlled by the Skrulls, it was in stasis for nearly a decade. I mean, I don't think the spell affected him. He was definitely a Skrull before No Way Home. And since he was an Avenger and the Avengers know Peter's secret identity,
Yeah.
does he know?
All right. What does he think? Does anybody out there think maybe this theory might be correct that Rhodey has been a Skrull since Civil War? You know, when he had the accident, when he fell out of the sky?
Yeah. Like
I don't know.
that hurts.
Well, yeah, I mean, that
Like
changes.
every moment we spent
Yeah.
getting to know Rhodey in the past
yeah,
3 movies
I don't want that.
has just been tainted.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want to hear about that. It's, I'm not trying to be mean, but you know, look, Endgame, Infinity War, you know, it is what it is. I don't want to know that anyone was a scroll back at that time. So
Here's the thing.
yes, we got Q&As coming up.
Yeah, I'll just make this quick.
Okay.
Rhodey plummeted hundreds of feet out of the sky.
Yes.
And he slammed into the ground and KO'd for a bit. And we saw him in Civil War walking with crutches.
Yes.
I feel like it would take longer than 2 years to fully recover. Like, military vets have taken years of going through intense physical therapy, sometimes surgery, just to get the ability to walk back. That's not running. That's not like extreme sports. That's not playing soccer. That's just walking at a normal pace.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes people with these types of injuries,
Sure,
let alone
rehabilitation
something
is
as
very can take
severe
a very,
as
very long
falling
time.
hundreds of thousands of feet from the sky in a metal suit
Correct.
that hits against your legs when you slam into the ground. Like, and then Rhodey's just walking fine.
This theory is very interesting, Keith. Oh
God, man.
Oh man, my mind is wandering now. Do we have Q&A?
Yeah.
So, Lisa, hi Lisa, thank you for joining us. To build the ultimate superhero, right? To build the ultimate superhero, but why does Gravik need to be that powerful? I don't know.
Yeah, like
is it necessary?
Let's get to that third act over the top Marvel CGI fight.
Okay, go ahead. You know, we have been, you know, on opposite sides of this for the most part for this series. So over the top CGI. Okay, you go ahead. All right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I don't think it was over the top. That's just how these
that's what you
shows
just said.
go.
Okay.
Like, so apparently,
can we read this from Alex?
Yes.
He says, "Great point. It could certainly be related
to the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah.
It also depends on when it was repealed, and interesting how they revealed it's repealed through a random line in She-Hulk.
That's a good point.
By the way,
yeah, you're right. It was repealed.
If it was repealed,
right, but that doesn't mean.
Why do they still have the Avengers DNA? Like, I'm sure these superheroes would want their DNA back.
No. Once the government has it, they have it. You can't go to the government and say, "Hey, can I have my blood back?" You know, you can't do that. So if they have it, they're going to keep it on file. There's no reason to give back the DNA. You know, it's collected for a reason. So no, it stays with the government, regardless of whether the policy has been repealed. Right.
Alex, per heavy spoilers, Rhodey had leg braces in Endgame, but not in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Is it possible that the Skrulls removed his leg braces during physical rehab after Endgame? So you mean, like, is that when they replaced him? Because I'm much more comfortable with that, all right? Because that means all of Endgame was virtually discounted. But then again, the hospital gown Why would Rhodey have been in a hospital if he'd already been there 6 years ago and he got braces to help with his legs?
That is a very good point. Yeah. Boy, sorry. What about Martin? Martin Freeman?
Yeah, so I'm guessing you mean like what's his name, General Ross?
Ross? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's alive.
Yeah, he was in the pods,
Yeah,
right?
he was in one of the pods, and they freed him. He's all good now.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So then when he saw Rhodey next to him, what was the question he asked Rhodey? Like, how long have you been here? Right?
Yeah.
Because I think he recognized too that Rhodey looked like he was in this
Yeah.
robe.
Mom pointed that out because she's
Yeah.
like, "Why is Fury in a hospital?"
So there's something they're telling us something in that scene. And I think you might be onto something about Rhodey, maybe being a Skrull for a much longer period of time than we thought. That's interesting. All right. So we're going back and we're looking at the scene.
Yeah, played it right now.
Right. So so Rhodey is being
So
taken
Gaia
off. He's
says you've been held hostage for a long time.
for a long time, right? He's definitely wearing a robe. I think did you miss it already? What yeah, I think yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so yeah, Ross asked the question. Okay, Ross is right next to him. Colonel Rose, he says, how long have you been in here? Right. Okay. They're telling us something here. I don't know what's going on. So
this is like,
this is very interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but this is a clue.
I wonder how long Ross has been in here though, because
well, we know the last time we saw Ross was in
Wakanda Forever,
right?
Because he was giving information to the Wakandans.
Right. So something happened between then.
So I'm hoping it was before Black Panther 2 so he can, get back to the CIA. And be like, guys, I'm a Skrull. It's fine now. I'm free. So
I don't know.
It's an out.
The Ross in the sequel seemed to be the same Ross that was in the first movie. So I don't think it's a Skrull.
He wasn't acting weird.
Right. Whereas, we were talking about Rhodey's attitude throughout this series. I mean, he was just, arrogant
and he was and if you look at Rhodey,
sarcastic, and that's not Rhodey.
He's not a sidekick either.
Right.
Rhodey's like his own character. I think he's not as developed as he should be, but he's still a good character. And like this Rhodey, he's crass. He doesn't care. He's sarcastic. He's not even witty when he's sarcastic. He's just sarcastic for the sake of being sarcastic.
Right. Yeah. So I think that was a sign from the very beginning that he is not who he is. Great question, Lisa Washington. Not sure. The finale brings up so many unanswered questions. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I feel like this finale did less to clear it up and more to give us more questions.
Well, something else that we talked about right after the episode, I mentioned, okay, I don't know if this is something that Disney is doing going forward for all of their series. They always say the last episode is a season finale, not a series finale. So are we saying that we're going to see a Secret Invasion season 2? Do we want a Secret Invasion season 2? I don't know. Or is it going to be continued in another series, like maybe Armor Wars?
Yeah, what happened to Armor Wars?
Yeah, right. I don't know.
We don't have anybody to fight in the armor with.
Okay, well then we're not going to see Armor Wars.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Peter's iron spider suit no longer recognizes him because when Strange casted the spell, his AI would no longer recognize him as Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Stark is gone, and Shuri took back all the Ironheart technology from Riri. So we have Rhodey, but he's like in leg braces now. I don't know if he wants to step back into the suit. And we have Pepper, but like she has the same suit from Endgame, which was like 3 years ago.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get
a daughter to raise.
Yeah, that's true. Right. Single mom. All right. Good point. Let's go back and talk about this CGI fight.
All right. So Gaia is Fury, and she's a super Skrull, and she's beating Gravik up. And then Gravik is like, bow, bow, pow, pow, and he's fighting back. By the way, they all took the I'm gonna call it the epic scroll serum instead of super scroll. It's just epic scroll.
Yeah, I think that's too much.
And honestly, it was an overload.
Sure.
I don't think that was necessary. It gains the powers of every Avenger, Guardian, Black Order, and Thanos. So Gravik insults Gaia's mother and father because when you're in the middle of a fight with somebody who is just as powerful as you and even more powerful, you obviously want to hit close to home. And then Gaia gets
That just makes them even more angry, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I understand.
Finally.
I understand this series. If the rumor's true that it cost $200 million to put together. All right.
Really?
$200 million is what I.
You didn't have any superheroes.
I know.
You didn't have any recognizable names. The only real CGI we saw was that end fight. You mean to tell me that end fight was like 200 million?
Well, look. I was wondering myself, okay, $200 million, where has this money gone?
Yeah,
the bulk of it apparently
superheroes has this money gone?
Apparently it went into this last episode.
I mean, because
I thought the fight was actually pretty insane. I enjoyed it.
Good lord.
No, I thought it was really good.
Dude, this fight, grab a shit on the Ebony Maw, then he's like Hulk, then he's Abomination, then he's Drax, and he's like...
Yeah, but I thought it was well done. I thought it was very good. I never imagined Emilia Clarke as a superhero, but I thought she played it very well. I believed it.
So now we have somebody who's as powerful as Captain Marvel, just kind of floating around.
Now here's a question. Now, so she has all these powers. There's no way for her to lose these powers. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't think so. Are they making her like the Rogue of the MCU?
The Rogue?
All right, so there's this thing with Rogue where
from the X-Men, you mean?
Yeah, from the X-Men, where she stole Carol Danvers' powers when she was like Miss Marvel. So now that Gaia has the powers of Captain Marvel and all the other Avengers and stuff, does that make her kind of like the Rogue of the MCU now?
Could Gaia appear in the Marvels, the new film? No. Okay. All right. So
because there's 3 Marvels. I mean,
well, as a villain, I guess not.
Why would she be a villain?
Okay. Well, yeah, you're right. Right, because
Gaia. If they pull a Wanda on her, I'm gonna be some type of way when I leave that theater.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. Okay.
If I leave that theater,
I'm just wondering, like, what is she gonna do with all this power? Is my question. I don't know.
I guess she's just going to work with Sonya Falsworth.
That's true. That's right. Let's Q&A. So Alex says, it was fun fight and Emilia Clarke is awesome, but the MCU follows the same formula too much. I have to agree with that. Yeah, usually it's this big battle scene. Not that this one was, we've seen bigger battles, but I think for this series, I thought it was very, very well done. It would be the best to have these series tie into the movies addressing the multiverse. I would like that idea, Lisa. I agree with you. I was hoping that this will somehow tie into the Marvels, but it doesn't. Well, maybe it does, because are we going to talk about this final scene with Fury and Vara?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
by the way,
so I'll hold off.
I'd like to say, did you know that Endgame costs $356 million in production costs?
Okay.
So you mean to tell me that Secret Invasion costs $150 million less than a movie where portals are in every corner of the screen and we have an army of about 1,000 disposable CGI villains?
Okay.
Every superhero we've introduced into the MCU right now, a big purple alien with 6 magic stones, Captain Marvel, a bunch of ships flying in the air, an explosion that levels the Avengers compound, and an entire sequence where all the characters go back in time through this quantum vortex. That had a budget that was just 150 million more than Secret Invasion, with one superpowered action scene, no nameable superheroes, no epic battle at the end. Well, the battle was epic.
Again,
when I say epic battle, I mean like all the CGI aliens versus all the heroes. This battle was still good, but like no epic battle. We had no like cameos to talk about. We didn't even get an end credit scene or post credits.
That's true.
Like we didn't get anything. Even the Falcon and the Winter Soldier gave us that. Like we got that one post credit of John Walker making a shield, and that set us up for the next episode.
All right, yeah. I look, like I said, it was a rumor that it was $200 million. It may be that's overpriced. I don't know. But okay, so it's fine. There's nothing you can do about it. Like I said, I if they tell me it was made for 250 million dollars or $200 million,
Infinity
a
War had
majority
about
of that. Okay, we're not going to go through the budgets of all the
Infinity
other
War
films.
had about a
That's not fair.
$300 million
That's
budget.
not fair. All right,
Guys.
yeah, all right. Well, look,
that movie had a fight with half the Guardians and Iron Man fighting a big purple giant with a bunch of stones. Vision, the Outriders, the Black Order.
Moving on to
the Avengers with the cold shots of them fighting people. Wanda literally lifting like 3 wheels and flattening a bunch of Outriders. That movie had $100 million more than Secret Invasion.
Why don't you leave this budget alone?
200 million went to what? That new iPhone?
All right, I look, I get the point. Okay, so Sonya, we're moving on to Sonya.
All right. So Sonya calls Rhodey and she's like, Fury's in the hospital and he's lost it now. He's after the president. He's actually not there. So she's actually in the hospital tranquilizing the Secret Service agents. Notice that they're shooting tranquilizer darts and not taking out the Secret Service.
Well, you don't want to take out the Secret Service.
Yeah, no.
Okay, they're not doing anything anyway, but just put them to sleep. I mean, I think they're better off.
And then Fury walks in the doors and he's like, Mr. President, all right, Rhodey is not human.
Yeah, this was a little comical to me. Like, and
the president's sitting in his bed holding a weapon, looking at Fury like he's about to do something.
He's got no Secret Service
around. His hands are shaking too much.
He needs to be armed because he has no Secret Service. He's got
because
no one else
the
to
Secret Service get paid,
no
and
one
then
else
they're like, well, I'm going to walk over here. I just got tricked.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is also a classic Nick Fury move because he did that to Ned in Far From Home.
Yeah.
He tricked Ned, which was hilarious.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, right. Okay. All right. So it seems that Sonya, there was a scene with Sonya and Gaia. Looks like they're trying to have some kind of partnership where the Skrulls and humans can coexist on Earth. We'll see what happens after that. But again, once again, Olivia Colman did a fantastic job this entire season. I would love for her to come back in any movie, any TV series, just have a recurring role.
And that'd be nice, like make her Contessa Valentina or something.
Yeah, she can replace. Oh, sorry, should have said that, but yeah, she could, do the same thing that Contessa does, right? That's all I'm going to say. Just
pop up and start trouble.
She can wear red.
Really
just show up anywhere. What's that?
You know who really killed Black Widow? Hawkeye. And
cause trouble.
Then that plot was like one episode. Then Yelena's like, okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So are we near the ending now?
We're at the end.
Okay. Here we go.
So, Fury walks away from Priscilla once again. But she follows him and she's like, I'm going to come with you. All right. And Fury's like, we're better together. At least I am. And then they have this nice moment and they head into space because Fury has arranged some peace talks with the Kree so that, the Skrulls can get a hold.
He's going back on Saber.
By the way, he's going back to Saber, the very thing that ruined his marriage with Vara, and also all his friendships at S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, this time he's taking Vara with him. So, okay, so that's different. Okay.
See, here's the funny thing. Everyone who knew what Fury was like all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents who knew what Fury was like before he went on Saber are gone.
What do you mean?
Hill, gone. Yeah. Talos, gone. Okay. Olsen, gone 3 times.
Okay.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, so if you recall, we've talked about this, about Vara not being comfortable in her own skin, at least not around Fury.
Remember that one time when she's like, Fury, would you love me if I was me? And then Fury just walked out. Crickets,
maybe.
Crickets.
So, we always got the impression from Vara that she was happy, content with being human. Well, not being human, but at least being on Earth and being who she wants to be on this planet, right? She doesn't need to have her own planet. She prefers to stay on Earth, and she wants to be a Skrull, and she wants to be proud of who she is. And it was just a very emotional moment there where she finally revealed herself and say, "Hey, look, Fury, this is who I am. This is who you married. If you can't see me for me or love me for who I am, then this is over." And Fury came back and he did the right thing, and he seemed very sincere about it that he does love her for who she is. So that's very good to know because I was concerned that okay, as long as you have on that human skin, we good. Once you take it off,
By the way, a question.
Yes, Keith.
Briefly, if you have Captain America and the Winter Soldier's DNA, what's the difference? Like, they both took the super soldier serum. That's the only thing about them that would make their DNA worth having.
So, there was a line to LabCorp, and they had each superhero standing in line, giving blood, and Cap was standing right behind Bucky. So that's why, okay, Bucky went in, he got his blood, then Cap went in, and then so on and so on. That's how it works.
Did anyone notice that the powerless individuals, Star-Lord, Peter, Tony Stark?
Yeah, well, I mean, why would you need their DNA? They're just like us.
Doctor Strange.
Well, I don't know.
Exactly. He got the magic.
Yeah, well, I think he might have been there. Maybe we missed his name, but anyway. So
it's not there.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's wrap this up as we have final Q&A. This was not your favorite series, I know that, right? Yeah. And this last episode did not
whiskers on my head.
Did not bring any justice to it. Didn't redeem it a little bit. Not at all.
The fight was good.
Okay, that was it. Okay.
Everything just felt underdeveloped.
Yeah. Yeah.
It felt like shrimp that had been cooked 10 minutes when it really needed 20.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
You'd eat it, but it wouldn't be silent.
Okay. All right. So it's not what that is. Well, all right. I enjoyed this series a little bit more than you.
Marjo.
What can I say? I was disappointed with the finale.
Yes.
A little. Yes. Right. Because I don't know. I guess I was, maybe I was a little over ambitious that I thought maybe we might see a superhero. But you know what? I think they did the right thing because we can't always rely. Now listen to me. We can't always rely on
the producers like the shrimp wouldn't be silent.
We can't rely on the superheroes to save our skin all the time. So
that doesn't sit right.
I know it's not. It's very hard to imagine a Marvel series or film without a superhero.
That is Skrull behavior. I'm gonna be honest. Nick Fury has spent his entire life assembling a team of superheroes who can be there when such events happen. 1995, everybody. He met Captain Marvel back then, like way back when. I think it was back in 95. I don't know. But he met Captain Marvel all the way back in the 90s. That's when he started this mission, the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah.
It was begun back then. He began gathering people up until 2012, and he didn't stop. And now all of a sudden, Nick Fury, the very man who has devoted his entire life to, assembling superheroes, is like, we can't rely on superheroes to save us anymore.
I hear it. Yeah, I know. Well, here's my opinion. I don't think there will be a season 2.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I don't think people are receiving the show very well.
Yeah, exactly. If this show was a bigger hit, it was, well received, more well received to more fans, I would say yes, absolutely, there'd be a season 2. But I think this was I don't, maybe experiment is not the right word, but they wanted to see how it would work having a series without an Avenger.
It didn't work well.
So yeah.
Once again, we didn't even get a cameo.
No, not a cameo. So, I don't know. It's
like Rhodey isn't even a hero anymore because he's like a colonel now.
Yes, right. And then
he doesn't really have time to be War Machine.
And then what they did was they left questions that are probably never going to get answered. I don't know.
Exactly.
Well, they at
Like
least
the
say
finale gave us
at
more
least
questions than the entire show.
at least it won't get answered in a season 2 of Secret
Because
Invasion.
there
Maybe it'll
won't be
get
a season
answered.
2.
Right, exactly my point. So it may get answered somewhere else, but why bother? I mean, why not just give us all the answers that we need in this one season? Like throw all your eggs in one basket, right? And then I guess if the show goes well, then we say, okay, well, we'll come up with something else for season 2, rather than okay, well, let's just stretch it out and let's give the people's 75% of what they need to know, and then the
And then give them
25%
25% more questions than they have.
right, and the 25% will be answered whenever. So I just didn't think that was the right approach, but anyway. So all right, so
I think I'm done here.
Another
I
series
think I've had enough.
in the books. We wanted
As
to.
Miguel O'Hara said, I've had my daily dose of you.
So we still love Marvel though. We are still big Marvel fans. Okay.
Yeah.
We want.
I'm not dissing Marvel, okay? Please don't take this the wrong way.
And the next Marvel
Somebody's gonna
series.
put this in an edit, like Father Son Galaxy, out of context.
Oh, I can't wait for that. So the next Marvel series is Loki. Is that coming in November?
Loki S2.
Is that October or November?
I don't know. November's the Marvels.
Yeah, that's a good point. So
That's
all right.
supposed
Well,
to be
anyway.
a summer movie.
Well, right. Yeah, they pushed it back. Yeah. So I don't know.
Guardians was May 5th, and then having the Marvels in like June or July.
Yeah, I think it's
damn.
Okay. All right. Watch the microphones. All right. So we wanted to just shout out. We know that there is a strike. The strike is ongoing. It is continuing. We just want to say, and we will say this for every episode going forward until the strike is over, that we do stand with the Writers Guild. We stand with the Screen Actors Guild.
We send you guys our support.
Yes, we do support you.
And so does Captain Rex.
And, we will continue to provide content as long as we're not interfering with any rules, that has been created by the SAG or WGA.
There's rules there.
Well, there are policies that we're supposed to follow. They're not very clear. All right. So I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but as long as we can provide content, we want to do that, and we understand that this show does not exist if it wasn't for the actors and the writers who put these series together. Star Wars, Marvel, any Disney series, they're written, by professionals. They're acted by professional actors. So we want this strike to end as soon as possible, and we want people on both sides to feel satisfied. So we can move on and continue to enjoy these series and enjoy talking to fellow actors and writers in the future. So just want to say that. So we will make that announcement from now until the end of the strike. So thank you. All right. Any other announcements we want to make?
No.
You didn't put the announcements down. Okay. All right. Well, anyway.
I didn't have access to a device.
Okay. All right.
That's
well,
not a dig.
No, that's fine. So we'll be back on Sunday, right? Because Sunday is we're doing our continuation of Ahsoka's story arc in Rebels. Right, we're going to talk about what she's done, her contributions to the Rebels series.
We're also going to talk about Thrawn, not this Sunday, but soon leading up to the show.
Yes,
his rise to power and his final moments in Rebels. We'll also cover some of the other characters and their roles in the series right until the start of Ahsoka. Thank you to John and Baraxium, our patrons. Race to 1,000 subs. We are like 30 subscribers away.
We're inching to 1,000. It's a sprint, but we will get to 1,000. But continue to just tell people about our channel. People who don't know about us, get the word out. That's how we're going to grow. So we were just asking you if you can just do that and just anybody who you think who might be interested in seeing father and son talk, just have fun and just talk and talk, so
we'll never stop.
Yes. So just let them know about Father Son Galaxy. Thank you. Go ahead.
If you're in the Boston or Chicago area, we're going to be on the Fan Expo stages in
week.
Boston, the 4th to the 6th, and Chicago, the 10th to the 13th.
Yeah.
And new episodes, Storytime with Maceo, will be coming soon. We're bringing it back, guys. It's been quite a crazy summer for us, so we're going to get Maceo back on camera for y'all.
Maceo's been very busy. Maceo said, "Look, I don't have time for this podcast. Just leave me alone."
Maceo called his agent up and he said, "Listen, I can't do the show."
Yeah, I think Maceo says, "Okay, well, I'm out. Don't call me." All right. Anyway, all right. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So so we got, which future MCU show are you most excited for?
Loki season 2, hands down. No questions. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, I outside of Loki season 2, I don't know what else is coming.
There's supposed to be Echo show.
No, I haven't been hearing good things about Echo, unfortunately.
Dang.
No. Daredevil, I may say Daredevil. That's probably not until next year, but I am looking forward to it. Now, funny thing that I brought this up, I'm going to make it a point to see all of Daredevil from Netflix before Daredevil Disney Plus drops. So absolutely want to do that. So I got a lot of TV watching to do between now and next year. And we also got Stranger Things as season 5 is next year, right? So I got to catch up on that as well. So I'm so far behind. They could have learned from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which did well without the Avengers references, but no Avengers. Now, okay. Now I did not watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I can't.
I've seen a
discuss
little bit
it.
of
I can't talk about it, but
yeah,
I think the reason why. Yeah, well, let me say, I think the reason why I wasn't interested in it because there were no superheroes in it, So,
but honestly, that's not always a bad thing.
No, I mean it's probably a very good show. So, what have you seen about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Okay, all right. So, okay, now not to compare, but to compare, are you saying Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would be better than Secret Invasion?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're just making sure that we don't have any more questions. Keith, where can people find us?
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, our socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Father Son Galaxy, website, fathersongalaxy.com. Please check out our merch store, which is fathersongalaxy.myspreadshop.com. Donate to our Patreon page. Help us out. We're trying to get to all these places so y'all can see us more. We might even have some more trips planned for this year, so we need your help to get there. So please donate to that. And I think that's it.
Yeah, travel expenses. Yeah. We want to get
travel
around.
Expenses.
Yeah,
tax write-offs. American greed.
One of the parts of growing a podcast is that you have to get yourself out there. We want to do more, live podcasts on the stage, different stages, just to be out there in person in front of, not just in front of a camera here, but just be live and talk to people and have them see us and, talk, person to person. So, yeah. And that does, that's expensive, so, and we understood that, but, we're going to keep going. All right. Just finished it. It was good without any Avengers. Okay. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay. So Lisa watched it. All
yep. Right. So, Dad, I think you should watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, man. I got to add that one to my list too. How many seasons? Do you remember?
Oh, like 4.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
There's probably more than that.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right. If that is it, all right. So we really appreciate everyone who has been on the live stream.
Yeah, you guys are the best.
Yeah, we love talking to you. We love chatting with you. So if you can never catch us on a live stream, please do.
And even if you can't, catch us on the replay. We
love to read your comments. We love to speak with you, answer your questions. So wonderful. All right. Once again, everyone, this was Father Son Galaxy. We'll be back on Sunday, and we'll talk
Sunday.
We'll talk about Ahsoka. Okay. So until next time, take care. And we